Hi, I'm Rich, WB5YBZ, and today I have hooked up my software MRP40 for my 7300, and let's go to the computer. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, MRP40 Morse decoder. First thing that I did is I went to options, look at the receive settings. I went over here to, it says minimum signal decoding. There's a weak signal decoding, a strong signal decoding, so I got it right in the middle. On here, CW filter, I have it on wide, and if you're in a contest, you probably would want it on narrow. On the transmit, I have send via COM port 4. And all this is straight from the program. I haven't changed anything there. I just said save, and then I got out of it. Another thing on options is I have make sure that the transmit speeds equals the receive speed. For an example, if you had your transmit speed on, let's say, 25 words a minute, and you're only receiving, the guy calls CQ, in 15 words a minute, it's not very nice to go faster than what the sender is sending, unless he has this program. Another thing is you can enlarge the display, the window size. You make it smaller, or you can make it larger. And it seemed like when I get it larger than 1024, it sort of covers this up. And I can't, well, I guess I can move it. Okay. I'm trying to move this and I can't move it. So it's probably something I'm doing wrong, but I'm going to set it to 1024. Now, when I first got the program, and oh, by the way, on this options, on the COM port 4, hopefully, if you're running a Icom 7300, type in device manager, and you should have already downloaded the software or the driver to communicate from your computer to the Icom 7300. Mine's COM 4, that's Silicon Labs. This is the Icom port. Okay, so when I first open this up, it has text 1, text 2, text 3, text, and went on, and I thought, well, rats. And so I right-clicked it to see what was in there. Nothing. So I thought, well, I'd like to have something where I could just put a call in there of whatever's over here. See where it says transmit macro. So I want to adjust this macro, but I didn't know how. And so I contacted MRP40 support, and they said go to help, English, go to user interface, double click it, program menu, double click it, and then options, double click it. When you go to options, go to show. Now this tells you a lot of stuff in here, but the main thing I was wanting to do is program my little micros there, or micros, what do you call it? Anyway, to program these. So right here it talks about, see, the less than and greater than, and we can put the call sign, QTH, and blah, blah, blah in. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this. And what I did is I'm going to right click this, and if I just want to call CQ, I just type it all out. CQ, CQ, this is WB5YBZ, WB5YBZ, in the message, and then I called it CQ. This text message was text 1. So I saved it. And then on this one, if I heard someone call, I would call them, and I called this call. Okay, on the RST, right click it, This is the guy's call sign. Let's just say that he said, "Thank you for calling me. You're 599 into New York. My name is John." So when I highlight his call sign, it automatically goes this and let off the mouse. It automatically goes this transmit macro under the call. And if I underline John and let it loose, it comes over here in the name. And if I want to put the QTH, I will put the RST manually in by the hand. But anyway, it says call. This is and his name. Find business, his name. Your RST is such and such, and I say this is Rich, and how copy and the call. This is da da da. I name this RST. Save and close. Now I'm going to sprinkle this up. Really, I'm going to get about 30. That's close enough. And I'm going to put. Let's say I talk to the W5JET. Let's say his name is Jim, and he's 579. So theoretically, it'll have his call when I call him, his name, and then I'm going to give him his RST. And the computer will look on these values and put them in those slots that you had programmed in. So now I'm going to left click this. I'll turn on my volume, make sure my power is all the way down, and I'm going to click it. Okay, so you sort of see what it looks like, and I don't know, do I have a KW at the end? Should have been a K. Oh, a lot of times when it finishes, it puts a W in the software somehow. I don't understand that. One of the things that I want to warn you about is when you hit clear, you think, well, I want to clear the screen up. It'll just keep on going. This will scroll up, and as you're in the QSO. But let's say, oh, I want to clear this out, you know. But watch over here on the right where it has the transmit macros. If I clear this screen, it's going to clear the whole thing. Notice the call signs there, not there, and all this. So another thing is you can type in this green area. And so if I was going to say, what if he says break, or what is your QTH break? Undoubtedly, he missed Oklahoma City. And so what I would do is just reply with my keyboard, and I'll say break. And then it break back to him. So anyway, that way you can just break right in there and say something if you want to. Also, if you're in a contest, I think you can put the counter here in one of the macros. But I put contest, and I said, his call, this is, and 599 Oklahoma, and I'm going to put thank you. And then a 73 or SK, and I call this contest. I'm going to say con. How's that? And save it like that. So it's really easy. Some things we'll clear this out again. Okay, I'm in listening to QSO. And if I let's say I was listening to a weak station up here, and I said, well, I'd like to listen to a strong station. Let's say there's 2 or 3. You can just hit go max, and the signal will be between the 2 orange lines. That's where you want it. Also, this is for brightening and dimming the letters, and I can't see it hardly there, so I like to brighten them up, or the dits and the das, that is. Okay, he just sent it to the other guy, and what I'm going to do is just show you that, just sort of examples. I can highlight this call sign with my mouse and then let it off. There's his call sign. And let's say his name is Normal, okay? So I'm going to highlight this and let off my mouse, and his name's Normal. Now, when I, let's say his QTH is called Place. So I highlight that, and it goes to Place over here. So when I call him, his call sign will be W4TJ. This is WB5YBZ, Fine Business Normal. And I have to put the RST in here, 599 or whatever it is, and make sure the question mark's off. And so when your RST will be 599, and it changes. If he's very weak or something, I'll have to change that. But other than that, it's really a nice program, and it seems like it picks up pretty good, except for maybe under 15 words a minute, it might not be as accurate. Matter of fact, at 5 words a minute, if you see someone's going HI, you might see 4 dits, which will be EEE, and then high, HI, I will be 2 dits, which would mean it would be another EE, because it's so slow it doesn't really interpret slow or decode slow code. With that, I was wanting to tell you that where was that? Some of the things you might want to know is CW abbreviations if you haven't worked CW. I've been working it off and on for golly since 1965. But here is some of the codes. Q signals. Here's some of the Q, like QRL. If you're listening to as you know, spot and you want to start sending CQ, listen for a little bit. Make sure no one's sending. And then you might say QRL. It's usually used to see if the frequency is busy. Just say QRL and CW. Or if a guy's going too fast, you can ask him to go QRS, send slower, more slowly. And just some things like that. If you want to need QSY to change the transmission to another frequency, someone's giving you some interference, let's move up 2 kilohertz or something like that. Let's queue up SY to 7.121 or something, you know, whatever. And all that. So I'll try to put these on the website. And thanks so much for watching.